Welcome to Members Only. I am so excited to bring you guys your own reading here. So, what should I read about? You want to know about past life? You want to know about your past life and what's happening with that? What kind of knowledge you possess inside of your soul? Okay, angels, spirits, guides, can you help me give a message to my members only? Tell me something about their past life, some kind of knowledge that they have that they might not know about. And also, like when we're clarifying, I want to know, like, how can they use this knowledge now? Okay. All right, so there's 3 cards that came out. There's transportation, which is got a picture of a train. I'm going to clarify this stuff, you guys. And then there's trees. And there's persecution and inquisition. So I feel like it's very possible that you were persecuted. You know, like maybe you were one of those people they called a witch. Maybe you were tapped in. You know, something definitely going on here. I am going to clarify. Let's see. Clarify with this. Clarify the transportation card. So it could be like you worked on a railroad. Maybe you drove a train. Maybe you traveled by train. This is how you made your money. This is how you made your money. With something to do with the train. So maybe you helped build the railroad, right? I think it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, but I also feel like you have a lot of spirit activity here with this. I feel like maybe if this is your story, I feel like you had a good family life, like maybe a big family, and money was a problem. Like maybe it was a big burden, you know, money part. Maybe you were working for chump change, right? It's because it was a burden. Tell me one more. The Emperor. Okay, so honestly, you could have been like the one who thought all this up. You know what I mean? Maybe you were definitely the leader of the pack here as far as transportation goes. So that's the message I'm getting from that Emperor here. Like maybe you're the one who started it all. Maybe it was your idea. Tell me about the trees. Tell me about the trees for my members only. Why are they here? Wish fulfillment, the star. It's also, that's a card of healing too. Maybe you have a connection with the trees that is healing for you. Maybe you learned that. I'm not sure if you're aware of it now or not, but I feel like there's some kind of special connection with the trees. So when you have a decision that you need to make about anything, I feel like you need to talk to your higher self about it. You know what I mean? I feel like you need to ground in the tree, and that will help you contact your higher self. 10 of Pentacles is here. So I feel like you know how to manifest things, and the way you use nature, there's something special about the way you use nature, the way you're tapped in a past life, right? And then persecution and inquisition. This was really definitely hard. Like it looks like someone just came in and stole something, you know, disrupted your life. Tell me what they learned. I feel like you learned loyalty. You learned loyalty. You learned love. I feel like you learned a lot about the human condition, about greed, about pride. I think it made you really, really wise. I also feel like, you know, they accused you of being a witch. The magician is here, right? So I feel like you were harmed for your ability to manifest. I think you might have even been very young, like a child. You were so full of love and you had a whole another perspective. You were enlightened. You were an enlightened person and you were persecuted for it. You were persecuted because you were tapped in. You were persecuted because you could make all the things you want come to life. People saw it. People saw your connection with your higher self. And they weren't about to let you keep it. They weren't about to let you teach this knowledge to others. But you learned a lot. You did. You have a lot of powers. I feel like you can heal people. This is one of the things. Like, I feel like you're also a very good manifester, especially toward money. This is from the past. You know what I mean? I also feel like you already reached a state of enlightenment in another life. You've already ascended. So I could be talking about an ascended master or someone who's learned these lessons, learned the lesson of being able to manifest money, being able to, I think you were very loving too and so tapped in. And I feel like you were magic and people could see it. Maybe you were healing people with your hands. Maybe you were a midwife. But you were definitely someone with a lot of knowledge and very, very tapped in, very successful. And it was very much devil energy at the helm of this whole thing. You know what I mean? And I think that what this devil card is telling me is that you have this memory still inside of you and it creates some kind of fear. And it's controlling you still today. Like you have muscle memory of this fear, right? So just the fact that you had all this knowledge in the past and were most likely martyred for it, right? You were most likely persecuted and maybe even killed for this power. Maybe they even accused you of, having some kind of, I don't know, like I remember when I went to college, I took this class and it was about women, and I can't remember the women's studies or something like that. It was a sociology class, and it was about the kind of the journey of women, and it talked about the Inquisitions. It talked about the dark, what was that called? The Dark Ages, and some of the things that happened to the women specifically at that time were just really gross. I mean, they accused women of having an affair with the devil, like having sex. That's why they had these powers. That's why they had to be killed. When really what they possessed is the same things we have today if we tap in. We have the power to heal people. We can learn knowledge about how to heal people with like herbs and like the tree here. So we have all that knowledge at our fingertips now. We can Google you know, what the herb is for whatever ailment. But back then, the people just knew it, you know, they were, anyway, I feel like the devil card is here for a reason, you know. I feel like it still controls you now, this fear. So tell me some ways I can help themselves here. Let's see. Okay, so it's saying take off your mask. Like, are you pretending that you don't have these powers? Are you afraid of it? Because that's what it looks like. It looks like you're trying to be something that you're not. You are a powerful being. But for some reason, I feel like there's someone out there who's afraid to show who they truly are. The love card comes out next. So this could be about loving yourself. It could be about loving other people. And that's what turns all of this around is love. I feel like, you know, there's this place inside of you that's got so much fear. It's holding you back, you know. And I feel like your higher self is trying to talk to you right now. And this card is saying, like, pay attention to the signs. I see an owl. I see quite a few trees here, and I see a light. I do feel like there's healing coming here. You know, healing coming here for someone. It's a number 21 card. So I'm automatically getting February, you know, February 1st, maybe. Cycles. These are the cycles, and I feel like, yeah, self-love is the next cycle for you. You know, this feeling of self-sabotage is something that follows you around, kind of like this darkness that follows you around. You know, like you're scared now to actually step into your power. But because the King of Swords is here with success, I feel like this is something that you feel like you are, you know, you're ready to do. Like you understand the wisdom here that you have in your soul, is what I'm feeling like. So, Spirit, give me some advice for my members. Tell me some advice for them about this. What's the best way they can work through this energy? Because it looks to me like what happened in your past is holding you back today because you still feel like it. So it's saying, open up your heart, own your power, King of Wands, and make your plan. You know, yeah, and stop worrying that you're not enough. Start understanding that you're being directed by your higher self, but all that is, right? And where they're taking you is to 10 of Cups, knowing that love for yourself, right? Soul awakening, right? So you're starting to understand this. So maybe this will help you, because it looks to me like you'll have a lot of knowledge in your soul. You have a lot of power that's at your fingertips. And all you have to do is decide to let your soul come out and lead the way to the next adventure. You know, so far, I feel like what you've been doing is kind of holding yourself back. What's holding you from this unconditional love for yourself and your soul is this old stuff. And I can kind of understand that. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like feeling like sometimes when bad things happen, like in my life now, I do question my soul. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why did I have to experience this specific thing? You know, like, what were you thinking? And, you know, Spirit, I mean, the answer could be the same for me in this reading. It's like, well, it was to open up your heart so you could look from your soul's perspective at who you are and what you've accomplished so far. You know what I mean? Like, you're the King of Wands here, very, very powerful, owning it, knowing it, standing firm in your truth. You know, walking towards your soul path, walking toward unconditional love. But this Five of Swords, there's something always stopping you. It's this self-defeating belief. And it comes all the way back from whatever this persecution pile is. It's that stuff that's stopping you. Like it's really a memory that's stored deep in your soul, and it's part of your soul plan as well, to work through the mind fuckery and find yourself back into this unconditional love for your soul. And sometimes I really kind of believe that the whole purpose of these lives that we live on this earth is exactly that. Can we find our way back to unconditional love? Can we find our way back to our source energy that is us, that soul piece? Can we get to this place where we trust it and love it and understand? Maybe we don't understand the end of the game, but we trust it. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like. Here's your advice. Let me show you. Right? So you've got the Ace of Cups. It's about your heart opening up. It's about sharing love, you know? It's about seeing from a heart space. It's about accepting who you are, you know, the magic that is you. I feel like you guys, honestly, I feel like you've already ascended in some way. Like, I feel like there's been an ascension already, but you're back trying to work through this Five of Swords because it's on your mind. And I'm going to clarify that Five of Swords with this deck, and I'm going to ask about it. Like, so what is it that they are still working on here about this Inquisition? Like, this is still something that's hurting you. It's bothering you. It's something that has to be transformed, and it will be. And Spirit is saying, like, it will happen in divine timing because you are very special, you know, with this life history of yours. So I feel like there's some kind of repressed feeling of regret and lack and fear, right? I feel like Mars could have something to do with the change that's coming for you. Yeah. You feel sad and lost and fragmented. And these are the things that are stopping you from, like, trusting your soul, you know? You're definitely dealing with the dark night of the soul. I just did a reading on my channel about that, so hopefully you've watched it. Because I feel like it's time. Spirit is saying it's time to release it. It's time to surrender it because you have something to do, and it's got something to do with your power. Tell me, what exactly are they doing? What exactly is their path, you know, their purpose here? It's to decide to ignite the fire. It's to decide, you know, because I feel like you've been resistant and guarded, maybe about even anything remotely spiritual, you know. Maybe, I mean, this could be about religion, and like maybe you hate it, or maybe you love it and you feel like you have to follow it to the T, and your higher self is saying, like, wait a minute. I mean, it's riddled with fear-mongering tactics, religion, all of it. You know, if you don't do this, you're going to go to hell, right? No, that's not what it is. So I kind of feel like there could be like a message here. I don't know if you're being called to travel somewhere or speak about something, but it is something that you have a commitment to, you know. It's a contract, you know, your higher self has it. What is the contract? Tell me about the contract that you're talking about. What does the soul need to do? Get rid of that old pattern, the toxic pattern, right? It's that feeling of doubt. It's that feeling from you know, being persecuted, right? I feel like there's abundance coming in and gifts, like more gifts, spiritual gifts are going to be given to you. Well, what are they going to do with the gifts? Show me what they're doing with the gifts. It says go with the flow. It says go with the flow. So you have gifts coming, and Spirit says, I know you're scared. I know you're scared because of what you've been through in another life. Even if you don't remember it, your soul remembers it. And your soul realizes that it's being kind of, I don't know, it's kind of trying to help you through this, you know, because it knows the truth of it, right? But for some reason, you feel some kind of, some way, you're needing courage. And your soul is saying, how teachable are you? How teachable are you? You know, because I feel like before you were the teacher. You know what I mean? Like I do. I feel like you were like somebody real important in your community back in that time. And I think they did something pretty bad to you. And so now I think you have a fear. And whether it's like, you know, you're the person who goes to church, you know, and confesses like once a week or something, or you're somebody who doesn't trust anything, you know, and you definitely don't want to listen to spirituality because it was that spirituality that got you most likely, you know, persecuted at least. So I feel like that's what's holding you back. It's actually controlling you. You know, it wasn't fucking fair at all. You know, it wasn't. And it is definitely still got some kind of hold over you. And you probably don't even really, I don't know if you remember this. You might. So you might want to go into some kind of meditation here and ask for protection around you as you work through this energy, because there's something about that. And don't forget about the trees. I feel like that message is about grounding. It's about connecting in and knowing that you're a part of all that is. So that's what I have for you, and I hope that it makes sense, and I hope that you have a great day.